Hi YouTube! I know I said I would only be back for my 5-week pregnancy update, but I had an interesting idea for a video. I would like to reflect on my pregnancy and the birth of my son Oscar in China, because I think that it might be interesting to some ladies out there how it is to go through pregnancy and give birth in a foreign country where no one speaks your language, and just the things that you go through and things that might be interesting to know. So where do I start? My husband and I, we got married on October 10th, 2010, and we thought about having a baby soon, within like 2 years or so. And I was diagnosed with PCOS at the age of 14, and I was told that it would probably be very difficult for me to get pregnant later in life. So we thought, why not start a little bit earlier? Because we thought it might take us 2 years probably, but then it turned out it only took us 2 months, which we're really grateful for. And yeah, when we found out on December 20th, 2010, and yeah, we were really happy. Oscar, was machst du? Was machst du? Silly baby, huh? Du bist ein silly baby. And I went to my first growth scan at 6 weeks and 5 days, and again, it was wonderful to see him. he was the size of a jelly bear, a gummy bear at that time, but it's so lovely to see. And what else? Yeah, the first thing that I should probably mention is how it is to find a good a good gynecologist. And I actually went to a Chinese Western hospital in Beijing, China. They don't really have things like, they don't really have midwives there. They're not, it's just for foreigners. It's just the foreign hospitals with Western doctors. I could have seen a Chinese doctor, since I speak Mandarin Chinese fluently, and that would not have been a problem. But just for my own peace of mind, I wanted to speak with someone who was able to speak English. And yeah, I had a wonderful doctor. I don't know if that's actually something I wanted to ask you ladies. Is it normal where you come from that when you see your doctor, when you see your doctor, you assume that he's going to be, or he or she is going to be the one who attends your birth? And that was the first thing I was approached with, is that he would not definitely, but he would probably very likely not be attending my birth, because he knew already that he wouldn't be at the hospital around that time. Or that's not really how it is. It's more likely who's on call, who's on duty, the doctor who's on duty on that day. Is it the same here, or is it the same in the area where you come from? Yeah, he sees that I'm busy now, so he's trying to do all sorts of nonsense, right? And then, yeah, one thing that I think I had an ultrasound every few weeks, every 4 weeks maybe. But I think that's something that we won't do this time around. We just want to have a growth scan maybe at around 10 or 12 weeks, and then another one at 20 weeks, and I think that will be it. Maybe if we decide to do so, we might have a 3D, 4D ultrasound in the late 20 weeks, maybe around 28, 29 weeks. Hi, Oscar, hello. Hello. Just in regards to my pregnancy, all in all, I had a good pregnancy, I would say. I think I felt great. The only thing that happened to me at 4.5 months pregnant was I fell down the stairs and I broke my leg. So I was bedbound for almost 3.5 months. But at the time, not really bedbound, but at the time I was still finishing up my degree at a Chinese university in Beijing, and I just had to go to classes on crutches, pregnant. I had really great understanding teachers and really great classmates that would help me out to get around at university and just help me out with things. And yeah, that was a bad experience. Let's hope this does not happen this time around. Yeah. Cuckoo. That's a cuckoo. Yeah, and then some of you might probably wonder, China, what do you eat there, and how about the water quality? So in regards to water quality, I wasn't actually that worried. I know that the water is not the best, but most of the time I would drink bottled water, even though that we all know that's not the best either. I would drink bottled water, teas, juice. I could easily find juice, and the food is amazing. The food is really good in China, and it's actually more oily than people expect it to be. So that is probably also one of the reasons why I gained a little bit more weight. And the broken leg, of course, bedbound for 3.5 months. That doesn't make it easy to keep the weight off. And then let me think. Oh yeah, and I intend to do definitely exercise more this pregnancy. I'm actually thinking about getting a gym membership, and yeah, we have a nice gym around the corner, and they offer a 6 months membership for $55. Is that normal? I don't know. I'm a little confused if that's tricky or fishy somehow. And Oscar was an easy baby. I mean, I really had a wonderful pregnancy. Just looking back at it was wonderful. And then talking about or getting to the birth experience, that was a completely different story. That's a completely different story. My waters broke at 1:30 in the morning. I think I woke up. I was in deep sleep, and I woke up and it started pop, and then my waters just gushed everywhere, and it continued to do so. And then I think I kind of panicked. I know I would not do it this time around. I panicked, and I thought, okay, I have to call the hospital now, and we have to go to the hospital now. And that's what we did. I think we were at the hospital within an hour at 2:30 in the morning, and my contractions just simply wouldn't start. The next morning they hadn't started, and the next day they still didn't start the whole day. And then 2 days after my waters broke, they said, okay, we have to use Syntocin now. I think Syntocin is the same as Pitocin, yeah. So my husband and I, we planned a completely natural labor. We didn't want any chemical interference or any other sort of medical interference at our birth. But so there we had it. I had to be induced with Syntocin, and the labor. I think the labor started at 9:15 in the morning. Contractions started at 9:15 in the morning, and they were really, really strong at 4 in the afternoon, and I think by 4:15 I was at 10 centimeters. So the midwife said. The midwife didn't really speak English, but she assured me that I was 10 centimeters dilated, and she said, okay, you can push now. And so I started to push, and then maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes later, said, oh goodness, your son's head is taking your cervix down. And because we were wondering why is nothing happening, and he was facing the wrong way, and he was bringing my cervix down while with the contractions, and yeah, that was not a good thing. So they told me to stop pushing and try to keep my contractions under control. And everyone who has had a baby before knows how painful it can be to stop pushing. I had to stop pushing for 45 minutes, and I honestly, I don't want to scare expecting moms out there, but that was the most painful part of the whole labor. And everything besides that, the contractions before that and the pushing the baby out, it was okay, it was fine, it was empowering. But the not pushing part, not being allowed to push part was scary and very painful. I was begging for a C-section at that point, and I was saying to my husband, I don't want to die, I just want to get him out of there. And then I think 45 minutes later, the gynecologist on call and some midwives came in and said, okay, you have to turn on your side. We need to get him to turn around and get in a good position. And so I stayed 50 minutes. I stayed in that position on my side, and then they said, okay, turn around and push now. And so I pushed him out. I think it took maybe 20 minutes to push him out, but it was an empowering experience. It was not incredibly painful. And I have to admit, even the ring of fire, where many women say it's incredibly painful, it was a great feeling. I mean, of course it hurts, but it is part of giving birth, and it was wonderful. And I would do it all over again. I will have to do it all over again. So another thing that I wanted to talk about is beliefs and customs in China in regards to pregnancy and birth and gender beliefs. If you want to know more about that, just leave comments and ask questions, and I'll make a separate video about that. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have more questions, just ask me. Oh, and on a side note, I'm sure some of you have noticed that I have a scar on my mouth, and I just wanted to mention that it looks 10 times bigger on the camera than it does in real life. And yeah, so it's just out there, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I stop rambling now, and I see you at my 5-week pregnancy vlog. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye! 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 Ciao ciao!